So I know it's difficult to describe, but what is mudra space awareness? What do you actually do?
Well, I'd say it has 5 different parts corresponding to 5 different kinds of training exercises and activities. The first part is called intensifications, and that represents body exercises, full body exercises, where you intensify the body totally and then relax the body. So all the muscles of the body become tensed, and you learn what it means to create 100% engagement of every muscle in the entire body, and then release them in different postures, and each posture has a certain spiritual significance. So that's level number 1, the intensifications. Number 2, there are sensory exercises having to do with each of the senses, and particularly the visual sense, seeing, and knowing the difference between looking and seeing, and how we can reduce the speed of our seeing activity to actually understand what it means to see, what the experience of seeing really is. So we do exercise that slow down visual experience enormously. Perhaps it might take 64 minutes to do a 360-degree scan of a room, the room we're in here, for example. And as you do that, and as you slowly scan, as if your body was a camera scanning across the space, you find that your eyes begin to change the way they see, and you begin to see what it means to experience light, color, dimension, and how in opening your eyes, there's a certain way that certain relationship between what's over here and what's over there, between self and other, that occurs. And that becomes very interesting, and your curiosity opens to see, well, maybe there's a way to transform the act of seeing. And then in a similar way, we can move to the sense of touch, or the sense of hearing, or even smelling, tasting. And as we deconstruct each of these sense fields, we learn that there's a way that we can experience those senses in a way that gives us the flexibility to do it in a spiritual way. That's the second series, the sense exercises. The third series of exercises would have to do with movement. And there's a certain way that you can experience the movement from standing up and then standing, what it means to stand. And here as you move from this tripod of sitting, where I am now, into standing, we realize that the body and mind are challenged because you're standing on 2 little sticks, 2 little feet, and you have a fear of falling. So there's various ways that under normal conditions we subliminally adjust ourselves to the fact that we're in a kind of threatening position. We're standing, we could possibly fall. So in response to that, our standing exercises experience the way that we might be held by space around us. This is where the space awareness aspect comes in, that we can call upon space to hold us up. We don't need the mind kind of vigorously instructing the body to stand up. We can just open up and allow space to hold us. That would be an example of standing. And then we move into walking, and we realize that the left side, the right side, and the interchange between left and right is something that we can discover for the first time, what it means as humans to be not animals, but actually humans who can walk erect. So what it means to be Homo erectus and to actually walk. And so we have a number of exercises that break down walking in different ways so that we can rediscover the act of walking and therefore become more flexible in how we walk. That's the third level. And then the fourth level would be group activities, because this is done as a group, and after doing these first three types of exercises, it becomes possible to rethink the way we can interact with each other as a group. So this is where we enter a domain of improvisation, of one-on-one interaction, and that does include speech, where we debrief with each other about how these experiences have affected us, how we can develop a language to talk about the direct experience that we've had, and how we can achieve some kind of continuity between our personal experience of mind and our interaction with each other, essentially overcoming the separation between self and other. So there's a whole series of activities that have to do with group dynamics. The fifth series of activities, which would be considered a more advanced expression, is how you move mudra into the world and create a kind of lifestyle in which one's own life becomes theater. And you can approach every environment and every activity in a way that applies the mudra principles. And those activities could be deliberately chosen by the group. You could go out into the field and do things, or they could be things that you do on your own. So this fifth level is the level where you move into meditation in everyday life, and how you can work with your senses, your body, the way you experience, in a way that meets the challenges that come with your lifestyle.